10 most influential athletes right now. These athletes are reshaping culture. Caitlyn Clark, check.
Every year, a prominent sports media outlet releases its list of the most influential women in sports, a nod to athletes who don't just play the game but redefine it. These are the trailblazers who fill arenas, spark debates, and inspire the next generation. In 2025, the list was a celebration of women who've shattered ceilings and rewritten record books. Names like Serena Williams, Simone Biles, and Alex Morgan have graced these rankings in the past, but this year, the spotlight fell on a new generation of stars reshaping women's basketball. At number 1, Caitlyn Carter, the sharpshooting sensation who's been breaking ankles and records since her college days at Iowa State. Carter's rise has been nothing short of meteoric, a blend of raw talent, relentless work ethic, and a knack for making the impossible look routine.
Breaking records, Caitlyn Clark, check. Proving their impact goes far beyond the game, from sold-out arenas to game-changing moves in business and fashion.
From draining logo threes to selling out arenas, she's not just a player, she's a phenomenon. The list praised her for redefining the marketability of women's sports and drawing unprecedented viewership to the WNBA. Her impact is measurable, a 105% spike in WNBA attendance for her team, the Indianapolis Ignite, and merchandise sales that rival NBA superstars. Notably absent from the top spot, and some argue the top 5, was Angel Reese, the self-styled Crescent City Queen, who's built a brand on confidence, charisma, and a knack for staying in the headlines. Rivers, who plays for the Chicago Storm, has never shied away from proclaiming her influence, often touting her social media following and college championship as proof of her dominance. But when the list dropped, it was clear the voters had a different perspective. Rivers landed at number 8, a respectable but humbling placement for someone who spent years positioning herself as the face of the sport. The snub didn't go unnoticed. Social media erupted with reactions, from Rivers fans crying foul to Carter's supporters arguing the ranking was long overdue. Angela Rivers got outworked by Caitlyn Carter, plain and simple, one user posted. Another countered, "Influence isn't just stats. Rivers brings the drama, the culture." The debate raged on, but one thing was clear. This wasn't just about a list. It was about 2 players, 2 visions, and 2 very different paths to greatness. The making of Caitlyn Carter. To understand why Caitlyn Carter topped the list, you have to go back to her roots. Born in a small Iowa town, Carter grew up shooting hoops in her driveway, dreaming of the big stage.
These women are leading the way. If this is a top 10 list, then sitting on the top of that list, there's only one right answer.
Her high school games drew scouts from across the country, but it was at Iowa State that she became a household name. By her sophomore year, she was rewriting the NCAA record books, sinking shots from distances that left announcers speechless. "She's not just shooting threes, she's launching missiles," one commentator quipped after Carter hit a 35-footer to clinch a conference title. Carter's game is a blend of precision and audacity. She plays like she's solving a math problem and painting a masterpiece at the same time, calculating angles while improvising moves that defy logic. Her crossover is a weapon, leaving defenders stumbling like they've stepped on ice. Her range? Let's just say the logo is her comfort zone. But what sets Carter apart isn't just her skill. It's her ability to make everyone around her better. Teammates feed off her energy, coaches trust her instincts, and fans can't look away. When she entered the WNBA in 2024, the Indianapolis Ignite knew they'd drafted more than a player. They'd signed a revolution. Carter's rookie season was a masterclass. 28 points per game, a record-breaking 12 assists in a single game, and a highlight reel that went viral every week. Off the court, she was just as impactful. Her endorsement deals with major brands rolled in, from sneakers to sports drinks, each one a testament to her marketability. When the Ignite played at home, tickets sold out in minutes. When they hit the road, opposing arenas had to open upper decks to accommodate the crowds.
Also, Complex has put out their 10 most influential.
Carter's influence extends beyond stats and sales. She's changed the way people talk about women's basketball. For years, the sport struggled to break through the noise of the NBA and NFL, but Carter's arrival shifted the narrative. Suddenly, sports bars were tuning into WNBA games, Casual fans were debating her legacy alongside LeBron James and Stephen Curry. Even the league's executives took notice, securing billion-dollar TV deals fueled by what analysts dubbed the Carter effect. As one network exec put it, Caitlyn Carter doesn't just play basketball, she sells it. Angela Rivers, the brand and the battle. If Caitlyn Carter is the quiet storm, Angela Rivers is the hurricane, loud, unpredictable, and impossible to ignore. Hailing from Louisiana, Rivers grew up with a chip on her shoulder, determined to prove she belonged among the elite. Her college career at Louisiana Southern was a highlight reel of dunks, rebounds, and trash talk that made her a fan.
Women in sports. And Angel Reese is not going to like this because, well, she got beaten by Caitlyn Clark for number one.
Off the court, Rivers' brand remains strong. Her endorsement deals, while not on Carter's level, include partnerships with fashion lines and beauty brands. Her social media following dwarfs most of her peers, and her podcast, Queen's Court, draws thousands of listeners eager for her unfiltered takes. But influence, as the 2025 list suggests, isn't just about likes and clicks. It's about impact, on the game, on the fans, on the future. And here, Rivers has struggled to keep pace with Carter. The rivalry. That wasn't. The media loves a good rivalry, and from the moment Carter and Rivers entered the WNBA, comparisons were inevitable. Both are young, talented, and charismatic, with fan bases that clash like opposing armies. Carter's supporters praise her humility and work ethic, calling her a role model for the sport. Rivers' fans celebrate her boldness, arguing she brings a swagger that women's basketball needs. The narrative peaked during a 2024 matchup between the Ignite and the Storm, a game billed as Carter versus Rivers, the future of the WNBA. The game itself was a microcosm of their dynamic. Carter dropped 42 points, including a logo 3 that sent the crowd into a frenzy. Rivers answered with 18 points and 12 rebounds, solid numbers but overshadowed by Carter's brilliance. Post-game, Rivers made headlines not for her play but for her comments. "I don't get the same calls as some people. The league knows who they want to push." The jab was thinly veiled, and Carter's response, a polite "I just focus on my game," only fueled the perception of a one-sided feud.
Going to like this because, well, she got beaten by Caitlyn Clark for number one. Yeah, so we're going to take a look at that. I think it's...
Since then, Rivers has leaned into the rivalry, often referencing Carter in interviews and social media posts. "They keep comparing us, but I'm in my own lane," she tweeted after the 2025 list dropped. Yet the comparisons persist, driven by moments that highlight their differences. Take ticket sales. When the Ignite play, arenas sell out weeks in advance, with scalpers charging thousands for courtside seats. When the Storm host, tickets are often available at the gate, a stark contrast Rivers has downplayed. "I'm not here to fill seats. I'm here to change the game," she said in a recent podcast episode. Carter, for her part, has stayed above the fray. She rarely mentions Rivers, focusing instead on her goals, winning a championship, breaking more records, and growing the WNBA. "I'm not competing with anyone but myself," she told reporters after a practice session. It's a stance that frustrates Rivers fans who see it as aloofness, but resonates with those who view Carter as a class act. As one commentator put it, "Carter's playing chess. Rivers is still figuring out the board." Defining influence. So what does it mean to be influential in 2025? The sports media outlets list offered a clear answer. It's about transcending the game. Carter does this effortlessly. Her games draw casual fans who've never watched women's basketball before, lured by the promise of a highlight reel performance. Her presence has forced networks to rethink their coverage, with ESPN and TNT adding more WNBA games to primetime slots. Even the NBA has taken notice, with stars like Kevin Durant and Giannis Antetokounmpo citing Carter as an inspiration. Rivers' influence, while undeniable, is more niche. She's a cultural figure, a symbol of unapologetic confidence in a sport that's often demanded women be humble. Her fans, many of whom are young women of color, see her as a voice for those who feel overlooked. But influence in sports isn't just about speaking up, it's about backing it up. And here, Rivers' on-court struggles have dulled her shine. Missed shots and turnovers don't inspire the same way a 40-point game does, no matter how many followers you have.
Hilarious. I will tell you right off the bat, I don't believe there's a singular world, where Angel Reese should be ahead of Simone Biles either.
The numbers tell the story. Carter's games averaged 12 million viewers, a 50% increase from the WNBA's pre-Carter era. Her jersey is the league's top seller, outselling the next 3 players combined. Rivers, meanwhile, ranks 10th in merchandise sales, a respectable but telling gap. Attendance for Storm games has grown, but not at the Ignite's pace. When Chicago hosted Indianapolis in 2024, the Storm moved the game to a larger arena, not for their own fans, but to accommodate the Carter-driven crowd. "It's like the Beatles came to town," one ticket agent joked. The social media factor in the age of likes and retweets. Social media is a battleground for influence. Rivers dominates this space with 10 million Instagram followers and a TikTok presence that churns out viral content daily. Her videos, dance challenges, fashion hauls, and behind-the-scenes glimpses rack up millions of views, cementing her as a digital powerhouse. She's savvy too, using her platform to call out critics and rally her base. "Haters don't faze me," she captioned a recent post, paired with a clip of her hitting a rare three-pointer. Carter, by contrast, is understated online. Her Instagram, with 6 million followers, focuses on basketball, practice clips.
The woman who's been putting women's basketball on her back for the better part of 3 years now. These athletes are reshaping culture. Caitlyn Clark has men watching women's basketball.